back, casual cooks. It's the beginning of a new year, and with all things, we should start fresh. So I realized that I need to clean my smoker. I have a Traeger, but this could be the same for almost any type of smoker, depending on the make and model. But I'm going to clean my Traeger today in case you need a refresher on how to clean yours. So follow me while I do the process. First of all, I have a couple things. Some gloves, make it a little easy. Some aluminum foil that you're going to need. We've got some paper towels and some cooking spray and a little bit of, you could use anything that you'd want to, but this is more of just a natural item of Traeger cleaning fluid that will help clean some of the outside parts. So we're going to go ahead and get started and glove up. We're going to start by taking out the trays. My trays are still pretty clean. Give you a little look on that. They're still pretty clean, but I'm going to set those over to the side because they've got grease all over them. And you can see, so this one also comes out, I guess for ease, I will take that one out as well. And then you can see all of this stuff that is burned on here. It's pretty nasty, I've got to admit. I lit it up to cook some chicken wings last night and saw that this started smoking pretty bad, and it wasn't smoke like in the good type of smoke from the wood. It was the smoke from all the stuff that I've cooked that's been on here, and it's pretty cooked on. So we're going to take this part out. I think they call this the baffle. Not 100% sure, but this whole part comes out. And we're going to set that aside. And then you can see the whole inside over here is full of ash and wood. So we're going to take these parts out and kind of put in some of that extra wood that was sitting on there. And next part, we're just going to vacuum it out. So I have a shop vac that I have over here, and you can just put whatever type of extension wand you're going to need on it. I'm going to take off the extender. Don't need the extender. It's going to get a little loud perhaps because of the microphone and the vacuum, but we're going to vacuum up all of the wood and the ash from all the prior cooks. So as you can see, it's a pretty quick process. You're just getting most of it out. You could even spend more time if you want getting off a lot of the grizzle and other things that are there. For me, I might do a little more work. This, of course, is the fire cup in which the wood chips come out and that it ignites. So that part is in there, but it's going to take a little while to get going once we relight the smoker after everything is clean, because it has to stick those wood pellets out and then relight them towards the bottom. I might do a little scraping. I have a little kind of wire brush that had some stuff. The wire brush is pretty much gone on there, but you can see it's still got the area that's got kind of the blade. So you can get in there and really kind of clean it up if you want. Down here, this is where, for my particular type of grill, this leads down to the drain cup. It's like a bucket that holds all of the grease and all of the extra juices that when you're cooking, it runs off. And you want to be sure you check that too. We'll do that at the very end, and way better than where we started. Once that's done, we can put this part back in because that doesn't need any real cleaning. I mean, if you wanted to, you could take like a paper towel with some vinegar or some water and clean that off, but it's just going to get dirty again. So I'm just going to put it right back in there. Now, the part that really needs to be cleaned is this baffle area, or this thing that basically prevents the flame from hitting all of the actual meat. So that is what's going to take the majority of the time to clean out. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to close this up for now, and I'm just going to wheel this right out of the way for a sec so you guys can still see what I'm doing. So for me, since I'm outside, I have my trash. So I'm going to use that trash to go ahead and clean this off. So first thing I'm going to do is, this is all a bunch of aluminum foil. Traeger makes different types of drip pans that you can already buy, but they get pretty expensive, and I go through this stuff pretty quick. So yes, you can buy these things at Traeger.com that would cover this, and you would just take it out and throw it away. But it's really not that much work just to do it with tin foil or paper aluminum foil. So what I'm going to do is just take that right off. All right, so I've got all of the aluminum foil off of there, or it looks like most of the aluminum foil, but it doesn't matter if I don't get all of it. But what I do is I like to take that scraper again, and I just kind of go through and scrape off any extra parts that are on there. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect, but you're just kind of getting all the extra gook that got stuck on there from a prior cook. All right, and that looks pretty good compared to where we started. Now, this isn't what we're putting back into the Traeger. We're going to go ahead and cover this with some aluminum foil. So I'm going to put the scraper down and just take out our cooking spray because we need something to help the aluminum foil adhere to that. So I am going to spray pretty much all of this with just a cooking spray. You'd want something that is obviously available for high heat. So sometimes they make grill sprays. You can do avocado oil in a spray, but we're just going to get all of it coated so that we have something for the aluminum foil to stick onto. And the part that I'm holding needs a little bit. All right, looking good. All right, we'll balance that right there. I'm going to take out my aluminum foil Reynolds wrap and just take off a pretty large piece. And we're just going to kind of put that over the baffle and kind of find the center. And again, because we put that cooking spray down, it's going to help adhere this tin foil to it. Okay, and we're going to fold this under and fold it around. Turn it around on that one. Again, we're just sticking that tin foil on. We're going to fold it down and around. And this is almost brand new again. So as you can see the front and the back, and you can just take off the excess if you wanted to. It's not going to do anything if you leave it there, but sometimes I just like to get that excess off. And then over here, so like I said, it's a pretty cheap way to not having to buy all of those drip pans on Traeger.com or whatever style you might have. So it's pretty much back to normal. And we'll put that over there. And now it's just a matter of reassembling it back the way it was. So we can go ahead and put this baffle right in place where it used to be. Make sure it sets to go. It's on an angle so that when the liquid falls down, it drips down into that hole that will go into our bucket. And now we will put this stuff back on. So we will put the top wrap back in place. And we just have the other two to put back. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty much good to go. I'm going to take off these gloves. Like I said, I have some Traeger cleaner and some paper towels. And you can just spend as much time as you want cleaning up the outside. This stuff is really good because it really only has natural ingredients. It's not going to put anything in your food that is weird. So I'm going to spray that on there. Let it sit for a sec. and then just come back with paper towels and take off some of that extra dirt and accumulation. If you wanted to let it sit longer or use a brush to make it uh, more of a difference, you could. For me, mine are outside all year long, and I use it very often. So I'm not expecting perfection, but it's definitely going to be a nice spring cleaning from where we started it. Over here, get the place where the wood is, and on mine you can see that's where the wood pellets go. And clean that front plate. This is looking great. And this only takes a few minutes. I mean, I've been spending longer just because I'm filming it for you guys, but this is something that's just a really quick, easy project. You get to start off that year nice and fresh, but you should probably do this maybe once a month, depending on the amount of cooking that you do, especially if you're doing a long cook. If you did like an 8 or a 12-hour cook, it's going to get a lot of that ash and wood in there. And that's about it. We're basically done. We'll make the outside look a little bit better here and do one last wipe down. Now, I told you that for me, there's an extra drip bucket that's down towards the bottom. So here's my Traeger. And then on mine, down underneath here, you'll see I keep some extra drip buckets and, of course, the documentation that I originally got the grill with. But right here, you can take that bucket out and you can see mine has some grime in there. It's not too bad, but if I wanted to, I could go ahead and take out this bucket and replace it with another one. But I still have quite some room for some extra stuff in there. You don't ever want it to get completely full because then that could become a fire hazard. But they sell extra replacement buckets online, or typically your Lowe's or Home Depot. So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that in there and close that back up. So this is an easy project that could take you 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes on a Saturday or a Sunday, but you want to keep it clean so that you can use it throughout the year. It's a really easy step. We'll be using this several times throughout the year as I bring new food and new content to you guys. So again, if you found this helpful or you're enjoying the content on the channel, please like and subscribe. And until I see you next time, remember, keep it casual.